Hi guys, Steph here. Okay, so today we've got a lovely pen for you people out there. It's a pen that you would have seen in my last pen haul. Here it is. There you go. First of all, what a lovely box. And then inside we've got the fountain pen itself. There we go. And as you can see, it's a lovely pen, little bit on the tired side, just needs a little bit of TLC. And after that TLC, here it is again. Little bit different today because it's had a little bit of TLC, but let's go straight into it. Now, originally, I bought this quite simply because of the box. I thought the box is absolutely lovely. Look at that. It's a Orium British-made, fully guaranteed fountain pen. The interesting thing is just to the bottom here, Wyvern Pen Company, London. Okay. So, as I say, I thought the box is really nice and interesting. And a nice little feature, look at that. It's got a little sort of cutout where, assuming that when you was buying this pen, you could actually see, you know, a brief colour or a brief view of the colour of the pen. So, let's take the pen out of the box for you. Let's pop the box to one side. Now, first of all, the Orium fountain pen. I don't know a great deal about it, but I do know a little bit about the Wyvern Pen Company. I've shown you numerous Wyvern pens before, and just very briefly, Wyvern were a British made or a British manufacturer of fountain pens based in Leicester in England. And to be quite honest with you, they're actually one of the sort of major manufacturers of fountain pens of the period, and they made lots and lots of different fountain pen, different models, different colours. They made some very nice and nowadays very sought after pens, and I believe they also made pens, you know, for other major manufacturers of the period. So this one being the Orium, I don't know, is it a sort of subsidy of Wyvern Pen Company? Was it a little offshoot by Wyvern Pen Company? I'm not too sure, but you know, enough to say, as I say, it's an Orium fountain pen. Now, I believe this pen, let's first of all show you the barrel imprint. Okay, you can see, hopefully, it says Orium, and I think it says British made somewhere underneath there, and it also has the sort of number 85. So it's an Orium number 85 fountain pen. Let's just try a different angle for you. There you go. So I'm hoping you can see that. So again, an Orium British made fountain pen number 85, made by Wyvern Pen Company, London. The size of this pen, from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, is 135 millimeters capped. Around the barrel, it's a nice 11.5 millimeters in diameter. Now, the main thing for me is this material. Is it cellulose? I'm not sure, but the colour is absolutely gorgeous. It's this sort of bronze and red marbling effect. Very, very nice indeed. And then it's got this sort of, well, it's actually one band, but it looks like 3 bands to the bottom of the cap there. It's got this quite a nice clip there, you can see. Okay, and then to the very top we've got this peaked sort of finial, this stud to the top of the cap there. And as we showed you with the box, this is what they termed at the time a stud filler. Now nowadays we tend to call it a button filler. So it's got this blind cap to the end here. And then if we unscrew it for you, there we go. We've got this little button to the end there. And as I said earlier, it was rather tired, rather dirty, just needed a clean up and a little bit of, as we said, TLC. We've put a brand new sack in the pen. There you go. And I can feel the pressure bar working correctly inside. Let's screw that back on. So all in all, a very nice pen. Now I believe this may be sort of the middle of the range, a middle of the range fountain pen. Some actually say, you know, it's the sort of lower end of the range. And I believe it was actually designed or made for the school market of the period. So made for, well, children at school. And I'm dating it around about the 1940s. But a gorgeous pen. So if you had this pen while you was at school in them days, well, I'm sure you would have got some envious looks from your friends, because it's a gorgeous pen. And one of the other things, I believe, the likes of this one, the Orium, excuse me, and also with another manufacturer of the period, like the likes of Platinum, who also had some very, very nice colours. So I believe at the time they made these pens to visually look very nice, and I think they've actually achieved it with this particular pen because it's gorgeous. Okay, so the likes of the Orium, and as I said, the Platinum. If you look at some of the Platinum pens, you know, the patterns, the colours are absolutely beautiful. So let's unscrew the cap for you. Let's show you the pen. Sort of a couple of different angles. As you can see now, it's a lot nicer condition than it was. This particular one has been reserved, subject to restoration, so it's ready to go into the post. Now, if we go up to the section there, now if you look at the before version, at first I thought this was simply a black section, but as you can see, now it's been cleaned, it's got this ink view sort of window to this section, which allows you to see when you're actually running out of ink. So another lovely touch for supposedly a middle or a bottom of the range fountain pen. Okay, now let's go up to the nib here. Now the nib, I do not believe is the original nib. I believe Orium, some of these pens had a Orium nib, which this one's not. If I show you, you can see it says Durex pen, and then it's got the number 6 to the bottom there. And we know something else that is named Durex, but we won't go into that. So quite an unusual name. Okay, so it's a stainless steel nib. It would have originally had a gold wash, and you know, quite normal for these pens. Once you clean them, they do tend to wear off very easily. So we can clearly see it's a stainless steel nib. Incidentally, I've read somewhere that all the pens were stainless steel, you know, yeah, maybe gold plated. I believe they did not have gold nibs on this pen. Let's take you underneath. There you go. We've got a sort of typical ladder feed underneath there. And as always, it's nice and clean because it's ready to go to the new owner. So very nice indeed. Nice and comfortable to hold and to write with. Now, because I've put a brand new sack in it, and as I say, it's found a new home, so I'll leave the filling of the pen to the new owner. He can decide which ink he would like to put in it. So I'm just going to do a dip test just to see how the pen writes. So we dip it in our ink to our right here, and what we've got is a Orium fountain pen, and as we said before, this one is what they term as British made, and I believe, as I said, around about the 1940s. It's writing very nicely indeed. There's no flex to this pen. As it says, it's a steel nib, so you know we don't expect any flex on the pen, but writing nicely with a fine line. Okay, so there we have it. You can see quite clearly, writes with a fine line, writes nicely, which is very nice for a pen that is supposed to be sort of middle of the range, or in some cases lower range. But if we put the cap back on, we'll clean that nib before we send it off, and there we have it. A very nice, unusual, I've never heard of it, Orium. I have heard, as I said, of Wyvern, so an interesting pen, but the main thing, look at that colouring, absolutely good. Well, it's gorgeous now. I've fully, disassembled it, cleaned everything, given it a lovely polish, and it's a gorgeous pen. And now it's a usable pen, so the new owner can, off he goes and he can write away to his heart's content. So there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen as much as I enjoy showing them to you people. Don't forget, down below, leave a comment. Give the video a thumbs up if you will. Don't forget to subscribe. But for now, I'm just going to say Slavo Ukraini from me and this lovely pen. Bye-bye for now.